Elijah, 1 King chapter 19 verse 1 up to 21. Now Ahab told Jezebel everything Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. So Jezebel sent messengers to Elijah to say, "May the gods deal with me, be it ever so severely, if by this time tomorrow I will not make your life like that of one of them." Elijah was afraid, so he ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a journey into the desert. He came into a broom tree, sat under it, and prayed that he might die. "I have had enough, Lord. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors." Then he lied under the tree and fell asleep. All at once the angel of the Lord came, touched him, and said, "Get up, eat and drink." He looked around, and there by his head was a cake of bread, baked over hot coals, and a jar of water. He ate and drank. Then he lay down again. Then the angel of the Lord came a second time, touched him, and said, "Get up, eat and drink, for the journey is too much for you." He got up, ate and drank. Strengthened by that food, he traveled 40 days and 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. There he came into a cave and spent the night. Then the word of the Lord came to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He replied, "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and they are trying to kill me too." The Lord said, "Go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart, shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he removed his cloak over his face, went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Then a voice said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He replied, "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the swords. I am the only one left, and they are trying to kill me too." The Lord said, "Go back to the way you came, and go to the desert of Damascus. When you get there, anoint Hazael king over Aram. Also anoint Jehu, son of Nimshi, king over Israel, and anoint Elisha, son of Shaphat, to succeed you as a king. Jehu will put to death any who escape the sword of Hazael, and Elisha will put to death any who escape the sword of Jehu. Yet I have reserved 7,000 in Israel, those whose knees have not bowed down to Baal, and those whose mouth have not kissed him." So Elijah went from there and saw Elisha. He was plowing a 12 yoke of oxen, and he himself was driving the 12th pair. Elijah went up to him and threw his cloak around him. Elisha then left his oxen and ran after Elijah. "Let me kiss my father and mother goodbye," he said, "then I will come with you." Elijah said, "Go back. What have I done to you?" Elisha left him and go back. And he took his oxen and slaughtered them. He burned the flowing materials to cook the meat and gave it to the people, and they ate. Then he set out to follow Elijah, and he became his attendant.